The wreckage is spread across a 3-mile radius. The smoke is still clearing from the impact zone. No emotions left on the scene, no tears, no dramatic narratives. We are just here to locate the hardware, download the telemetry, and analyze the data. Let's hook up the system to the flight recorder.
Sifting through the debris, looking for the steel orange case, locating the exact coordinates of the catastrophe space. The hull is completely torn, the fuselage is ripped apart. A clinical diagnostic running on a biological heart. I plug the interface directly into the data port, preparing the definitive unyielding accident report. No mitigation available, the parameters are completely flat. Trapped inside the cockpit like an automated little rat. I initialize the playback, listening to the final code, tracking the trajectory before the entire system explodes. The indicators are screaming red, the altitude is dropping low. The absolute textbook layout of a psychological woe. You can hear the metal groaning under the amaze G-force strain. An absolute overload happening inside the human brain. They wanted a soft landing, wanted a recovery flight, but the navigation failed completely in the middle of night. I am completely detached from the wreckage on the floor, just an independent auditor calculating the internal war. The instruments are precise, the metrics don't tell a lie. Watching the velocity increases, we drop from the sky. The structural fatigue was building up for 1,000 days, hidden underneath the camouflage of the civilian praise. Now the impact is recorded, the database is fully filled, reviving the precise second the stability was killed.
The tape is rolling fast, the static is starting to clear, isolating the frequencies to pinpoint the location of fear. No emergency exit available, the destination is set. The hardest psychological crash that you ever have met.
Blackbox audio,
Decoding the crash simulation,
the absolute destruction of the internal navigation.
the electrics are raw, the data never lies.
Watching the trajectory plummet from the sky.
No engine power remaining,
The pressure is cold.
the heaviest disaster that was ever explicitly told. System reboot successful. The data from the initial dive is fully extracted, moving straight into the system. Failure report.
I track the timeline backwards, shifting to the early hours, watching the gradual depletion of the auxiliary powers. The warnings were ignored, the maintenance was completely bypassed, leaving the entire framework of the operation heavily jeopardized. The automation took control, locking out the pilot's hand, and a reversible descent heading straight for the empty land. The telemetry is concrete, the data stream is perfectly whole. Sovereign investigator taking custody of the control.
The tape is rolling fast, the static is starting to clear, isolating the frequencies to pinpoint the location of fear. No emergency exit available, the destination is set. The hardest psychological crash that you ever have met.
Blackbox audio,
Decoding the crash simulation,
the absolute destruction of the internal navigation.
the metrics are raw, the data never lies.
Watching the trajectory plummet from the skies.
No engine power remaining,
The pressure is cold.
the heaviest disaster that was ever explicitly told.
Minute 42 of the recording. The primary indicators are starting to flicker out one by one. The cockpit atmosphere isn't panicked, it's completely silent. The realization of the failure is setting in. The altitude warning system is triggered.
The master caution light is blinking directly in the frame, an absolute validation of
backwards, hitting the absolute low. The final verification of the catastrophic psychological woe. No leverage remaining in the yoke. The cables are dead. A heavy cloud of black exhaust filling up the head. System failure. The engines are cold.
The sickest telemetry that was ever explicitly told.
Completely uncontrolled.
They transcend to the stars.
Watching the entire infrastructure effectively fall.
The data is locked.
The protocol is lived.
The absolute convergence of the terminal dies. Yeah, I examine the rudder input, checking the manipulation code, pinpointing the exact microsecond the sanity corrode. The self-sabotage was deliberated, slow motion execution play, wiping the remaining options completely out of the way. The data stream is crystal, the data stream is a shield. The hardest analytical scientist taking control of the field. The report is objective, the report has no room for the tears. Just documentation of the calcification of the fears.
Weather is spinning backwards, hitting the absolute low. The final verification of the catastrophic psychological woe. No leverage remaining in the yoke. The cables are dead. A heavy cloud of black exhaust filling up the head. System failure. The engines are cold.
The sickest telemetry that was ever explicitly told.
Completely uncontrolled.
And transcend to the stars.
Watching the entire infrastructure effectively fall.
The data is locked.
The protocol is lit.
The absolute convergence of the terminal dive.
This is the voice recorder transcript. The final 30 seconds before the impact. No screaming, no panic, no prayers to the sky. Just the sound of the equipment shutting down in sequence. The data is cold. The conclusion is absolute. Read the text.
Isolating the voice track, stripping the engine roar, reviving the final conversation on the structural floor. We lost both systems, the generator is completely dead. The exact sentence the captain of the flight explicitly said. A voice colder than ice, a voice with zero remorse, accepting the heavy parameters of the downward course. No frantic panic in the breathing, no tears on the page, just a clinical acceptance of the final enclosure cage. I print the transcript out, I slide it onto the sheet. The absolute documentation of the total defeat. They try to look for excuses, try to look for a glitch, but the telemetry shows the deliberate flip of the switch. The self-sabotage was calculated, engineered at the core, winning the internal destruction of the mental war. The flight recorder is a mirror that cannot be cracked. Every single track and coordinate is completely backed by the physics. The velocity is breaking the sound barrier line. The final execution of the negative master design. The ground is approaching fast, the target is in the frame, permanently concluding the entire historical game. I am the independent auditor, closing the fight of the day, watching the remnants of the narrative wash entirely away. The ledger is balanced, the data is locked in the vault. An absolute verification that the crash was your fault.
The countdown hits the zero, the static takes over the line. The absolute conclusion of the structural design. The transcript is finished, the voices are permanently still. A full compliance with the catastrophic internal will.
The flight recorder tape ends in static. The impacts happened at exactly 0400 hours. The investigation is officially concluded. Moving to the wreckage side. Pack up the hardware, I step away from the deck, reviewing the landscape of the absolute monumental wreck. No evolution in the process, no gradual rise, just the same dead data sitting inside the eyes. The black box is spoken, the record is straight. No room for negotiations with the baseline fate. We moving forward through the ashes of the frame, leaving the permanent mark on the identity name. The flight recorder,
The audio transcript is out.
erasing the remnants of the architectural doubt.
The data is final.
The voltage is proved,
Every single illusion has been thoroughly removed.
the metrics are sharp,
The chassis is stone.
standing securely
In the smoke This is ground zero, the final resting place of the machinery. There is no success story waiting in the craters. No miraculous survival, no hero emerging from the smoke. It's just a field of black carbonized iron and cold data. But you know what? The investigation is finished. The truth is documented, and the truth makes you unbreakable. Listen to the final alignment.
Yeah! Standing in the center of the recent impact zone, the infrastructure disintegrated into the stone. The crater is deep, the smoke is a heavy dark shroud. The absolute silence on the field is beautifully loud. I carry the black box securely inside of the case, the only unbroken object remaining in the empty space. The analysis is finished, the ledger is perfectly clear, eradicating the remnants of the environmental fear. I don't look for survivors, don't look for a pulse. The data stream is proving the catastrophic results. The self-sabotage was total, a masterful execution played, burning the entire landscape directly into the grave. From an underdog crushed at the bottom of pressure and weight to the independent master of the final diagnostic state. I honor the wreckage, I honor the severity of the fall, writing the final verdict directly on the concrete wall. No more checking the instruments for a false sign, operating flawlessly on the perimeter line. The locomotive engine of the soul is met the floor, concluding the architecture of the industrial war. The data is a monument of absolute stone, leaving me standing completely, securely alone.
The investigation is closed, the report is complete. Standing completely inside of the total defeat. But the knowledge is power, the knowledge is a shield. The hardest lone auditor taking control of the field.
Ground zero's honored,
The architecture is there.
a permanent silence sitting inside of the head. The black box is secured, the report has been filed. The entire disaster is clinically compiled. From zero to legendary,
Ash into stone.
I mastered the wreckage completely alone. I turn my boots away from the edge of the pit, accepting the heavy parameters and weight of it. The carbonized iron is cold beneath the stride, the look of absolute certainty ruling on the inside. No more data leakage, no more tracking the flight, disappearing completely into the shadow of night. The report is sealed, the documentation stays strong. The final definitive statement of the black box song. Ground zero triumph.
Architecture is there.
A permanent silence sitting inside of the head. The black box is secure, the report has been filed. The entire disaster is clinically compiled. From zero to legendary,
Ash into stone.
I mastered the wreckage completely alone.
Data upload complete. Case closed.